Welcome to the Brigade of Imbeciles podcast, a show dedicated to discussing HBO's Our Flag Means Death, created by David Jenkins.
Yay!
You can add some clapping sounds here, so it's like in post.
Okay.
My name is Vess and I'm a film programmer based in sunny Singapore.
I'm Leanne and I'm an editor and motion graphics designer, also based in Singapore.
I think we were both really inspired by the show and we talked so much about the show and we spent hours sending each other text messages and like different kinds of like analysis and memes. And we thought that, we might put all that content into some good use by creating a podcast for us to share our thoughts.
And not only that, but also kind of to collate all the information that you see online and just have one place that kind of covers so much. So I'm doing all the research for you guys.
Yes, thank you. And for me as well, because I'm just showing up and I'm being the kind of the other podcast co-host that just shows up and reacts.
Perfect. So each week we're going to be exploring different facets of the show, from episodic analysis to character deep dives and thematic through lines. And we're also going to be sharing our personal impressions along the way, behind the scenes, how the cast and crew interact with fans, etc., etc.
Yeah, I think as we both, work in film, we'll also be quite interested to talk about certain production aspects that we feel make the show great, like cinematography, costume design, and how that lends to the overall world building of the show.
Coincidentally, we're recording this on the 1 month anniversary of the finale of Our Flag Means Death, aka the worst day of my life.
Or the most inspiring.
Yeah, or the best day of my life. I mean, it goes both ways.
Yeah, I think the past month has definitely been very different for the both of us to be so thoroughly inspired by a show. I feel like you can pinpoint the exact moment our lives took a turn, because that would be the only thing that we would talk about, and we would just listen to the soundtrack on repeat and
just crumble at the pain
and the joys and the highs and the lows.
Speaking of which, spoiler alert, you should probably watch the show before listening to this podcast, because we're going to be talking a lot about what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you've clicked on this podcast, you've already seen it, so get yourself prepared. I think it's quite funny because I remember you texting me to ask me to watch this show, and I thought, oh, okay, it's like a silly little pirate comedy, and I wasn't really expecting too much. And after one or two episodes, you checked in on me to see how I was doing, and I was still saying, yeah, it's going okay. It's quite funny. I'm enjoying it. And then that enjoyment became, wait, what's happening? And that wait, what's happening very quickly became, oh my god, my heart is ripped into shreds and I cannot possibly finish this season without there being a season 2 to just follow up on.
Yeah, I remember I was watching episode 9 and 10 with you and you wanted to stop halfway through.
We did stop.
Oh yeah, no. You wanted to stop right after they kissed.
Yeah, because I was like, yeah, that's enough for the canon.
Yeah, and I was like, sorry, you gotta go through with it. And it was midnight and you refused to watch episode 10.
I physically could not do it.
Yeah, you were just broken and you could not watch it. And I was like, you're a coward, Mickey.
Yeah, and it was so difficult to get through. But okay, I think that I don't think anything.
Yeah, it's also a very different experience because I was watching this as the episodes were coming out, and I had to suffer through 1 week between episode 8 and episode 9 and 10. So our experiences are very different. Thankfully, I wasn't spoiled or anything, and I made sure that you weren't spoiled either. You were just watching me spiral. My spiral happened very quickly, and it descended into chaos before I managed to convince you to join me in my misery. And thankfully, you're very easily influenced.
Misery loves company.
Exactly.
I'm not exactly too sure how I didn't see the warning signs.
Yeah,
but
it was pretty clear.
Very shortly after you asked me to watch this show, we both embarked on a downhill spiral. Together, yeah. I can't believe how many mental health walks we had to take. And then on those mental health walks, we just ended up watching parts of the show.
We were just like, you know what, let's just go to my house and watch the entire series. And that's exactly what we did. This show is the only time I've experienced straight baiting. You kind of feel like, okay, they're just gonna be friends. It's gonna be like a Dean and Castiel situation, or it's gonna be a Watson and Sherlock situation where they're just gonna be queer baiting. And that's what I was expecting. I was expecting them to be just buddies and friends, and because I didn't want to get my hopes up. But then when that thing happened, everything changed. And when I actually rewatched the first 8 episodes again before episode 9 and 10 came out. And it's just, the perspectives are completely different, and it just opens your eyes to what's happening before you. You just read everything differently. Every single moment, every single word is different when you know that when you know that they're in love. You do feel sad and completely destroyed by what happens, but at the same time, you feel just catharsis and pride. You feel so connected to the characters, and you feel just so happy when something good happens.
Yeah, I had a friend ask me like, would you pay money in order to like have your memory wiped out and you could watch this whole show again like with a blank slate? And I said absolutely not, because I think like on the rewatch, when you really start picking up like different little clues, you kind of really appreciate their relationship. I mean, and their friendship even more. And it's so strong. And sometimes I also wonder how I was so oblivious to like all the clues.
For me, I would say that I wasn't oblivious, but I just really didn't want to get my hopes up, because this is so rare. Like, it's so rare to have two middle-aged men become lovers. And just, this is also David Jenkins's first romance that he's written, and it is literally, like, in my opinion, it's the best romance I've ever seen on TV or like in the movies. I mean, I may be biased because I love Taika and Rhys, but like, whew.
I think it's really been a while since I've watched a show that has just made me feel so inspired and like in awe. It kind of really reminded me of what it was like to really enjoy the content that is being put out there. So props to you, HBO.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, after 6 years of film school and like years of working in the film industry, it's pretty easy to get jaded and the rose-tinted glasses start to fade. But this show has really reignited my passion for filmmaking, because it's so well written. Like, I literally lost sleep over how good the writing is, and how it's like a delicious sandwich of like writing and cinematography and costume design. Everything is there for a reason. Even now, like a month after the finale, you can see online people are finding out new things. Like, I literally just found another parallel yesterday while rewatching episode 1, and it's just incredible how much thought was put into every single part of this show. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. This is episode 0, and we'll be talking about the first 10 episodes.
And I think we've also got maybe some fun episodes planned. I think we are hoping to bake Roach's 6-page 40 orange cake. That's not really 40 oranges, according to him.
Yeah, Samba, the actor who plays Roach, was very kind to gift us with a 6-page recipe for his 40 orange cake commissioned by Stede. And he even writes the whole thing. You can find it on his Twitter, but he even writes the whole thing on like old-timey paper and in the Our Flag Means Death font. And it's written in the character of Roach talking to Lucius, who's the scribe in this situation.
Yeah, so thanks for listening to our episode 0, and we hope to catch you for the next one.
Bye.
Bye!